I'm Hulk Hogan, the greatest wrestler of all time.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
A spaceman, huh?
No, actually, I'm a plumber.
New World Order.
Honestly, I can't go anywhere without getting a boner.
How you doing?
I live my life!
Woo!
The Rock says,
Sweet baby Jesus in the office.
Well, everyone. This is Jonathan, your humble slave. You're watching Wrestle Rock Podcast, Season 3, and I am always with my partner, Benoit, a.k.a. Nostradamus. Ben, how you doing, my friend, today?
Fine, and you?
Yes.
I'm the other slave.
yes. Not bad. So today, everyone, we have a special guest, and honestly, couples of months ago, I discovered a wonderful person, and he is just not a simple guest. He is a very good friend of mine, and he is practically a brother from another mother. So I will introduce yourself, Mr. Superlator, aka Tony Meyer, aka FMW Letter, direct from New Jersey. How you doing, my friend, today? Are you there? There, man? What the fuck, man?
Can you hear us?
Ok, on arrête ça. Oh. What happened? What's going on? Oh, what's going on?
Are you okay, Mr. Myers?
Are you okay? What's going on?
But I gotta thank a couple of buddies from Wrestle Rock Podcast for making it happen. Gotta thank Benoit, and I gotta thank Jonathan. They also did a hell of an article on me, too. Me, FMW Leather, WWS Wing Leather Chainsaw Tony. Me. And whatever else I'd like to put on, and where is my happy face? Also, too, these guys did an awesome article on me. So you got to go on there and check out their entire network. Plenty of interviews, plenty of detail to go into. That wound up being very therapeutic for myself. I had a blast. So, if you could just do this and do this for me, and believe me, it's going to benefit yourself further on down the line, because you see, they're not asking you for nothing. All they're asking you for is just a little bit of your attention to bring to them. That, and you wind up being the sole beneficiary person from it all. So, hey, just me dropping in, friendly reminder, go and check it out. Wrestle Rock Podcast. You can see myself and plenty of other folks.
Chainsaw Letter, aka FMW.
His real name is Tony Myers.
Yes. How you doing, my friend, today?
Well, hey, I was, I can't really see how I look or how the camera's pointed. I don't know if I'm getting like my entire ugly ceiling in here. But yeah, I mean, after an introduction like that, wow, man, very humbling.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure, man. As I said, I discovered a wonderful person and generous person, and
a smart guy.
Yes, a smart guy who know the wrestling business from none other. So this is very cool. So we go forward with some question, Mr. Myers. So what kind of kids you were and when you were young?
very real strange. Uh, I didn't really find myself, I don't think, until I started like delving into the world of wrestling. It's just so bizarre. It's anything these people are making it out to be. Stranger stuff I saw. I thought there's got to be a story here. Like, how did all these people get together, and what's the idea of the planning process, and what's going on with this? I mean, it is a very strange genre.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you haven't really found yourself yet. You're kind of reaching out there. You're playing sports, you're building boards, all that other good stuff. But once you stumble onto professional wrestling, it just makes you kind of curious. You go, what is all this? Who are these people? How do they do this? How do they get together? And everybody's got to have a story.
And we see that you have a really good things on your basement. So this is a
This is your collection of your VHS or DVD.
yeah, and you have a lot of things here. So this is a treasure. Well,
Well, if I went through here, it's like a museum. I
yeah.
went through here and showed you everything that I'm selling, everything that I've collected, everything. Now I'm just trying to focus on me. I'm trying to get rid of all the VHS and everything. I don't see like frame wise where usually if I kind of tilt the camera this way, I'm afraid to almost touch anything.
Yeah, man, you have a lot of wow memorabilia. So this is very cool, man. And what is your wrestling inspiration, and why you decide to become a professional wrestler?
I started seeing stuff eventually that was so bad that I thought I could just emulate that. I was able to imitate everybody from like Lex Luger throwing a punch to like Rick Steiner. So I just started mimicking, and then I guess it was about that time that I just you're by yourself, you're a kid, you're hanging out in a friggin' basement that's all furnished off and everything. I just started wrestling cushions. There's actually a VHS inside here where I'm like 11, 12 years old on the
Wow,
shit out of couch cushions. So
such a good memories.
it was one of those things where I saw, and then I started trading for indie tapes and started going to indie shows. I eventually went to indie shows that were so bad. I was like, I could do that, It's not to be mean spirited or nothing, but I thought, God, I could do better than that guy. Some of the really tiny shows I went to were just that they were really that bad.
Yeah, I understand.
Many years you crossed the USA and sales wrestling stuff in merchandise. Why did you decide to stop that?
Yeah, well, the more and more that it became like stuff is online, it's downloadable, and then I got like a giant crate of all these magazines from like the 80s and 90s. So it's whenever I get booked here stateside, I just kind of bring some of that stuff with me. But it just got to the point where, DVDs are so out of vogue, even though you can't sound and download.
Yeah. And now we are in the era with the digital, so.
But Japan is like so much more set back in the times. Like they still use fax machines, and you're able to sell DVDs there. You're able to sell the 8x10s and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it hasn't completely faded away in Japan or anything. But here stateside, it's just, I guess, out of vogue. Look at this; it's within reaching distance of me. The guy did that. He made these.
Yeah, man, you have a lot of import. Yeah, this is probably practically your best stuff, right?
It's from Japan.
Yeah, that's my stuff from Japan.
Okay.
The amazing thing is he only got through 2 folders of it, and there's like 12 folders in total. The 12 folders like 60 something gigs alone, but most of these folders are like 15 gigs a piece.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much stuff that he still has to go through, and there's so much stuff I'm still accumulating. Like I just got my match from Miyagi with against Mr. Atomic. Yeah, Mr. Atomic. And that's when he was like a young pledge trying to get into our Isasaki Underground Task Force with Jun Kasai and Fujita and those guys. But yeah, so I'm still like collecting my stuff as we speak, but it's not what it was before. You could just go to your gimmick table with a whole bunch of old VHS and DVD, but sign of the times, things change.
Yeah, times have changed, and with the now all people watching Netflix and Disney and all is on digital, so CD is and DVDs are not the priority. So now we're listen Spotify and stuff like that. So the the times change.
The
Yeah,
evolution
they
of the
do, but
technology.
Yes.
some things are timeless. Like, fans in Japan still like bringing and buying the actual like DVD to actually physically have that. And
Hmm.
I find myself a lot of times signing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you can't get that out of download.
Yeah, man. And
So,
as what is the name of the melodical singer?
James Hetfield?
Jim Hetfield, couples of years ago, he said that the download will destroy the music industry, and that's exactly
What happened?
what happened. So
yeah, torrents and YouTube and torrents are the main thing that Japanese people, that's like why they hate selling any form of multimedia to us, because the first thing they think is that Americans are just going to upload it, put it on there, and then piracy. And it's the whole thing of honor it harkens back to with the Japanese culture. So, they still don't believe in downloading anything. They believe in, oh, that's bad, that's stealing,
yes,
which is a great way to look at it. I wish all modern society was more like that, but
yeah,
it's
and
the one place on earth that
we
I
have
don't even know if you could put it into words.
yeah, and we have no choice to innovate in this wonderful world because as Gene Simmons says, um, if you want that people say buy your stuff, you need innovate. So I remember that the band group Kiss have probably 10,000s of items in terms of merchandising. So but if you wanna make a good money, you need innovated in wrestling. So, well, you
Yeah.
started your career. Go ahead, my friend.
Okay. You started your career as Tony Myers, your real name, of course, not FMW Letterface. Who is your wrestling teacher in the USA?
Well, believe it or not, I didn't actually start as Tony Myers. It was a bunch of shit that I drew. Oh man, can I curse? I just did. Am I allowed to curse, or?
Well,
Okay, so I threw a whole lot of crap at the wall, and I was Romeo Rodriguez, Spanish Fly, just anything that I could use, anything I could throw at the wall, see that would stick. But I wasn't Tony Myers until I went to Memphis, and they just needed a job guy name.
okay.
Downtown Bruno, Harvey Whippleman came to me and he goes, Spanish Fly is just too strong for TV. And I was like, well, I was using Romeo Rodriguez on like Joseph, all these tapings that were here locally in Jersey when I was, doing jobs, teenager. So, yeah, it is so funny because with all the variations and different forms of leather that I play around with and everything, Memphis had me under like a ton of different masks and doing all kinds of weird jobs or run-ins, or if they wanted something pushed but needed a guy under a mask because my face had been seen on TV getting beat up so much. So, yeah, in all, the very first place that I ever went to was Larry Sharp's Monster Factory.
Okay.
And, I was just like a 15-year-old kid. so they
Okay.
couldn't even take me
Very young.
serious. They didn't even want to take my money.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe I could break in as a referee. You know, weeks later, it was actually 2 days after my 15th birthday that I debuted in a battle royal under
Okay.
a mask, and nobody even gave nobody even gave it a name. I didn't even have a wrestling name. I just had a mask and, hey kid, it's the middle of a snowstorm. We're short people. Get the hell in the ring. I was like, but I'm one of the ring crew, and they're like, we've seen you in the ring training. Come on. But from there, yeah, it was Mike Masters, Rocky Jones Wrestling School.
Okay.
And,
So if I understand, you work with a lot of a person in the wrestling world. So you cross many wrestling school. So well, can you explain to us the historic behind the Leatherface gimmick? So we know that Caporal Krishner is the first one who worked with this gimmick, and now.
Now is him.
Yes, is him. So, can you explain the historic behind all of this?
yeah, Ricky Santana came to him. He was already the corp, I believe, in All Japan Wrestling. So he was named as kept being battered around Japan and everything. And then Ricky Santana came to him and he said, hey, you know, they need guys for this new thing to start called Wing.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 years later, after working straight, Kirshner wound up, and it's a very famous incident that happened with another buddy of mine that was from Canada, Canadian Tigerese, Mike Anthony. Mike Lazansky came to Memphis. I met him in like 93. And they had an incident outside of a bar, which if you've ever been in Shinjuku or any of the Roppongi, like any of those, I wouldn't say seedy or red light district, but they could be kind of sleazy. If you've ever been out there in Japan, there's a lot of street hustlers, a lot of people that come up to you. One of them grabbed him and he's like, hey man, don't grab me again. You know, and the guy was stupid enough to do that. He wound up going to prison, so they brought in Rick Patterson, another fellow Canadian.
Yeah.
One of your country folks. But they wound up bringing him into the replacement. While he was busy with the IWA, some of the dates had conflicted with Pogo and his WWS. So in like 2000, you know, they just had me stand on in.
Okay.
That's brief chronological history.
Yeah.
And it didn't become the thing till like 7 or 8 years ago, where with everything being out on social media and everything, everybody was able to put together clues, or they were able to go back in time with video and, you know, see me debuting with it and all that good stuff. But briefly, that's chronologically as far as the history of the Leatherface thing. You know, in the midst of this, plenty of Japanese guys stepped in and tried to do the role and that kind of thing. But it you can't just put it on a human being and be like, okay, you're now a Leatherface. It's if it doesn't have the gaijin thing to it, and those fans around Tokyo, they're like the most sophisticated fans on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be the first ones to let you know that, like, that's just they already know who it is. It's a Chiryaguchi under there. Yeah, it's not really Leatherface. What are you doing? So,
Well,
Okay, some of the coaches you've had are Mike Masters, Mike Sharp, Bill DeMott, and the Monster Factory. Which one was the roughest teacher or roughest wrestling school?
well, back then, Bill DeMott, he wasn't so mean spirited. He had a racquetball court in Lodi, New Jersey, which is only like 20 minutes from me.
okay.
He didn't really open that up until like late '93. So that was like the final place. And Mike Sharp was so laid back that he was just, you know, I remember watching video cassettes and me approaching Danny Inferno and being like, I'm trying flying head scissors on you. And Mike Sharp just standing there being like, I haven't seen one of them in a while. You know, like Mike was too laid back. Mike Masters was actually a much better teacher because Larry Sharp wasn't really around too much
Mm-hmm.
at his Monster Factory. But Mike Masters was probably the actual best like teacher. That and stuff outside of wrestling.
Okay.
Rocky Jones, Mike Masters. He just passed away like last month, throat cancer, and
Really? Oh.
I don't know, not to bring it to anything morbid or a down point, but he just, you know, you're talking about a guy that outside of wrestling really, really had himself together, and there wasn't a territory he didn't wrestle in. You would just have to listen to him because, I mean, he would tell you everything you need to know. And he wasn't per se like really hard on me or really like mean spirited or anything like that. Like I said, it was early on with Bill DeMott. So I guess, you know, anything that happened to him later on in life, you know, and all the horror stories that you hear about him developmental, that happened years and years later. But I want to say, like, actually, like physical wise, Mike Masters was, of all those people, Mike Masters was probably the roughest on me.
And currently, you work with Atsushi Honita in a Battleground Championship Wrestling promotion in United States. Can you talk about your experience with Onita against PCO and Bubba Ray Dudley?
Yeah, I know he had some comments, I guess, on his Patreon thing about the match and everything like that. You have to watch it to see.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
so go to Fight TV to watch this amazing match, guys.
Bully Ray's the one that actually found the tables.
Yeah.
Found them at a thrift store because to try to find those old particle board tables.
Yeah.
The WWE, like I won't even mention him by name, but he's the guy that hauls all the 18-wheelers and everything for him. All that stuff, the ladders, the chairs, the tables, all that stuff is in a giant warehouse. So WWE doesn't even locally go anywhere anymore and just go to Office Depot or anything. They have their own stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, going into that match too, I mean, I know PCO has got the. What more could you possibly say about him as a human being that anybody hasn't said? He might not be human. He's just too kind-hearted. He's just too nice of a guy. And it was so funny because we're back there and he goes, "Hit me like you're going to hit me when we're out there."
Okay.
and I just had to like chuckle for a minute, and I'm like, I know where I am, man. I'm not swinging for the fences on you. You know,
and
you hear all the horror stories.
Yeah, I remember.
You know what people have had to say about him online and this, that, and the other. I'm so glad I don't buy into that. I'm so glad that I'm that guy that's kind of laid back and just kind of like, you know, what's this dude all about or whatever. But it was cool because, like, when I refreshed his mind, I was bringing up stuff. He's like, "How the hell do you remember that?" And I'm like, "I was there. I was looking for work." You know, that was, yeah, because, you know, he came through Subalterns too. So it was like, and then with PCO, he was really tight with Sid Vicious, and so was I. Like, Sid even let Pierre stay in his home. So the both of us had this, you know, link with Sid, and we have like several mutual friends, and enough people put him over to me that, you know, going into there, I'm like, this is fantastic. Like, you know, I'll throw in a little bit of stuff like, you know, I went to Bully Ray and I go, how cool would it be if we did the Go Backers finish? Yay! So, and outside stuff like that, like, how hard is it? Just do what you're told. And it's like Bully Ray is so like, he's so in your ear from the second that you lock up with him, or from the second you start teeing off on him. There's constant communication. So it's like, how the hell do you screw that up? It's not possible.
Yeah, and I remember good stuff on this wrestling match with a a guitar shot on a
Like
yes
Jeff
on
Jarrett.
yes on Onita, and a spear through a barbed wire table. That was amazing, man. That was insane. Yeah, such a good memory. So we invite you to go to Fight That TV to watch this event. There's a lot of very interesting match during this event.
I
There's
didn't watch, but
yes,
I will.
yes. There's a comeback from Ken Shamrock.
Oh.
Yeah, against the son of
Harry
British
Smith.
Harry Smith, the British Bulldog son.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, if you haven't watched this,
He's another one, and he's like, he's got to be the nicest guy. But look at that entire roster. There's Casey Navarro, Buddy Matthews was there.
yeah,
Look from top to bottom. That entire show was so stacked, and here I am in the main event going, all right.
that's an honor,
Here's the
honestly,
screwed up
to
thing.
work with all of this current roster. So that's a great opportunity for you to work with all of these talents.
Yeah. The other thing too during the matches, if you go back and you're watching it,
Mhm.
PCO goes to dive to the outside. Onita just takes off. And it's all of me and it's all of my shoulder. And something I didn't tell anybody was like 3 weeks ago, I dislocated
Shit,
this
shoulder injury?
my left shoulder.
Shoulder
you're
injury.
you're right. Your right shoulder. Damn.
This one's big. This one's had the I don't know how well you could see it.
Oh shit, man.
It's coming out.
Yeah, we
Came
see
out
it.
at one point.
The effect of the
So
hardcore
there's like
wrestling style.
I got like a giant hole
God damn.
up here. But yeah, Onita just completely took off, and I was like, I said to Bully, I go, was it all right? You know, and he goes, you caught him, but I was like, yeah, but Onita.
And PCO give you a cannonball from the top rope under the table, man. That was just whoo. And between you and me, PCO is not a lightweight person, so
Yeah, it's like you see a guy with his size and everything else, and catch him.
yeah, man. When he dive on you,
Because, I mean,
oh
even on-
shit.
Hi,
Even
Pierre,
laying
if
there
you
on
listen
that
us.
table, it's like if you don't catch this guy, he's going straight to the concrete. Like
Yeah.
you'll break his fall and all that, but still, grab onto him, hold him,
Yeah, man.
make sure he doesn't friggin' splatter. And then the I think the cameras missed this one when he went to reverse me, and I went through the rest of the broken particle table.
Mhm.
I shot too hard and shot too far and ran too fast. My the people I landed right in front of, the guy goes, he's got to have a broken leg, and the other guy's like, Bubba, you all right, man? My shin and like the side of my calf like cracked into that guardrail.
Oh shit, man.
PCO's like, I didn't even know you were going through the table. And neither did I. I just got a wild hair flash, you know, adrenaline and everything. You're just like, yeah, you know.
And at late of October, you go back to Japan. What is your plan right there?
Yeah, that is just, we're post-pandemic, so everybody has told me, and like I was on the phone all night long with Takase. Takase has taken over the finances, and WWS is now his 100%.
Mhm.
So even he was telling me, everybody, Onita was telling me over and over, he's like, you know, within Tokyo, you're only going to get 3-4 days a week that people are running. So it's like, you know, you're going to have to go to the outskirts. You're going to have to go to like Eagle Pro if you want to round things out and try to even attempt pull off 7 days a week. Post pandemic is the biggest pain in the ass for them. I mean, so much is gradually getting back to the way what it used to be. With WWS, there's a lot of stuff of my own personally that I want to finance, and I want to run one house shows there with them. It's all the same stuff that we used to do, and it's to keep Takase's wife from yelling at him and being like, "Look at how much money you're coming out of pocket for."
Yeah.
I did the same thing with Pogo. I ran my own just for years. I kind of kept it to myself because people find out that you're running out in Japan over it, you know.
Yeah.
But I have to see just how much it's going to go back to normal, how much it's seemingly things are going back to the way that they were. So much has changed as far as like the landscape goes. But so much is still similar because for so many years I've busted my ass, you know, freelancing on all those Japanese indies to build, you know, that friendship that, you know, hey, they know what I'm about. They know what my company loyalty is. They see my work from the minute I walk in the building, you know, it's putting out chairs, whatever.
And we wish you all the best,
doesn't,
man.
It doesn't end with me, and it should never. It should be one of those things that people just, you got to realize you're there to maintain and get employment. You're not. I'm not going to be that fat, lazy American that people look at and they go, "Oh, well, you know, he just grabbed his money and left." You know.
Yeah, man.
You go above and beyond. The Japanese people inspire you anyway with their work ethic. You look over there and like Ricky Fuji setting up the ring. It's like, come on, he's got several years over me. What am I thinking? Why wouldn't I go over there?
Yeah, man. Well, as usual, my partner Benoit predict your future. Well, for ending, so go ahead, my friend.
Okay, I predict that you will open your wrestling school in Japan or US, whatever.
Yes,
I
and
couldn't hear that last part.
and the most important thing is a good LT.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
of course.
without LT, we can you can wrestle and you can live your dream.
Money can buy guilty.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So, thank you so much, Mr. Myers, for your time. It's always a pleasure for discussing all together, and probably we're talking in private a couple of times in a couple of weeks. So, thank you so much for your time, my friend, and have a good one.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was, you know, it's been great, man, going back and forth with you alone. It's just, you know, I got 2 new friends. How great is that? You know?
Yeah, man. That's pretty cool.
People that understand and people that
yeah, man. It's all
you
about
don't
the
have to
distance, but
explain too
if
much.
it's all about the distance, but if we have technology, we can contact everyone. So that's really cool. So take care of you. Be careful on the road and on a plane. And talk to you later, my friend. Talk to you
Excellent.
later. Talk to you later, face.
A word game, man.
Absolute pleasure talking to you guys.
Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Take care, my friend. Thank you once again.
Take care. All right.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.